Tonight, coronavirus fears. We talked to the county health department, what they're doing now to stop the spread. And one death and even more cases are coming to light in the Seattle area. How public transit riders are protecting themselves.
That's
Plus,
what I'm living off of right now is hope.
A mother still holding out hope. What Allison Watterson's mother is saying since items belonging to her daughter were just found.
From KATU News, this is Breaking News.
We have breaking news for you tonight. Democratic candidate Pete Buttigieg announced that he is ending his 2020 campaign. The former South Bend mayor, that is, returned to his hometown in Indiana. This comes after candidate Joe Biden won the South Carolina primary yesterday. Buttigieg came in fourth. We will be sure to bring you more on this announcement tonight at 11, and you can also find the latest online at KATU.com. Now that more people are being diagnosed with the coronavirus, health departments are working in overdrive. Through the weekend, members of the Multnomah County Health Department have been coordinating with schools to figure out what they can do to keep people safe. K2's Allison Mechanic just finished talking with them tonight. And Allison, what did they have to say?
Well, they tell us that they have been working around the clock this weekend, but that's no reason for anyone to panic. They're working so that they can figure out what is next for them if the coronavirus does become more widespread here in Oregon. Right now, their biggest focus is going on the people who were in direct contact with that person who did come out with the virus. However, they are also planning on focusing their attention on schools and people living in group settings. That means anyone living in a college dorm to people in homeless shelters, as well as jails. For the health department, these groups are also at risk because of how easily the virus can spread.
Any kind of respiratory infection like flu or like this new coronavirus that can be transmitted through coughing, we have some extra concerns, not only for the vulnerable populations, but extra concerns for anyone that's living in a group setting in terms of spread.
Now, the number one thing that people can do, both if they're in any of those groups or also just at home, the biggest thing they can do is just take extra precautions, washing your hands and using hand sanitizer. That's really the best thing you can do to keep yourself safe. Now, coming up tonight on K2 News at 11, we're going to let you know what items you should pick up right now if you go to the grocery store and what items you can leave on the shelves. Live in Southeast Portland, Allison Mechanic, K2 News.
We'll look forward to that. Allison, thank you. Not only is the U.S. reporting its first death, but now so is Thailand and Australia, respectively. We're also learning 16 students and a faculty member at Lake Washington Institute of Technology were possibly exposed. And the U.S. Postal Service is confirming a worker in Seattle has tested positive, but that employee's job does not include distributing packages. On top of the president's coronavirus travel restrictions for Italy, South Korea, and Iran, he is putting new screening procedures in place. He tweeted today that in addition to screening travelers prior to boarding from high-risk countries, they will also be screened when they arrive in the U.S. It's not clear which passengers from which countries will be receiving this increased screening. TriMet says that they're doing everything they can to tackle riders' coronavirus concerns. Officials are working with state, local, and World Health authorities, and they do regularly clean buses and trains. However, they encourage riders to wash and sanitize their hands as often as they can and avoid touching their faces. And it's not just people in Portland concerned about taking the bus. Since the news broke about the first coronavirus death in Washington state, health officials are forming a plan to make sure people in the community are safe, especially public transit riders. Como's Tammy Mutasa has the latest with their response.
As news about the first person to die from coronavirus spreads in Seattle, so is the concern about the disease itself.
Pretty scary, very scary, you don't know how you can get it. It's concerning.
The number of coronavirus cases is going up. Seattleites like Skylar Peterson say they're staying vigilant with their health no matter where they go.
I'm not going to stop living my life because of some incited panic or things like that. I'm just a little more aware, a little more conscious of how I'm living my day-to-day life.
Knowing that the virus can spread in confined spaces, local leaders are making plans for metro buses and public transit. They include removing unsanitary buses and sanitizing them, plus cleaning buses like they typically do every day.
People generally have to get to work, so I don't know what exactly that's going to do, but I think that definitely cleaning and understanding that that's the steps that they're taking would be helpful.
Bus rider Nikki Conan says her company is encouraging sick people to work from home and limiting face-to-face meetings.
It's tough when you're a manager and a lot of your folks are in office, so I mean, my only thing is just like making sure I'm washing my hands more, like taking wipes with me, hand sanitizer, and doing everything I can for myself.
There's also an urgent effort to run hundreds of tests at the state health lab, with officials working 7 days a week to get results faster. While they expect the risk to go up, people are taking those precautions.
I have 2 kids also, so whenever I have them, I make sure that they try to keep their hands in their pockets. Me as well, I try not to touch things that I don't know.
Health officials tell us people with symptoms of coronavirus shouldn't just show up at a clinic or a hospital. Rather, they recommend those folks stay at home or self-isolate if possible. In Seattle, Tammy Mutasa reporting.
Here in Portland, health officials say they're worried about the homeless population contracting the virus. According to our news partners at Willamette Week, a Multnomah County spokesperson says people living in shelters and camps are at greater risk of getting sick because they live in more crowded conditions. And now that it is here in Oregon, county officials say that they'll do whatever they can to help the homeless and all Multnomah County residents. And look at these photos from NASA. Since the coronavirus outbreak in China, pollution is actually down. You can see the images before and after, and look at the difference from February 10th to the 25th. We have some breaking news tonight. A second person has died from coronavirus in King County. That's according to public health officials. They also confirm 4 new cases. That brings the total number to 12 in Washington. This is a developing story, and we are following it. And of course, as soon as we have details, we'll pass them along to you. And you can stay with KATU News on air and online as we continue to cover the coronavirus. If you can find the latest updates 24/7 at KATU.com.